Welcome to the news with 8-Bit Media. I'm your host Tim Johnson. It is August 6th, 2016. Thank you so much for joining us this week. We're going to go ahead and start right into video games. We got a bunch of information from Activision regarding Destiny from an earnings call that they just held, as reported by Kotaku's Jason Schreier. They say that a majority of Bungie is already hard at work on Destiny's follow-up, even going as far as to refer to it as simply Destiny 2. No other official information was given, but recent rumors point to it as being a soft reboot for the franchise, directed by the Taken King director Luke Smith, while others are saying the game is even going to be called Beyond Destiny. Knowing this, there may not be any post-Rise of Iron or Year 3 content in the vein of House of Wolves or The Dark Below until Destiny 2's release next year. Game Informer also gave us an info dump on Destiny's Rise of Iron, stating that the level cap is still at level 40. However, the light level is going to be increased from 335 to 385, then up to 400 when the new raid's hard difficulty is released. Ornaments are Destiny's version of transmutations for both armor and weapons. They're quoted as saying that they will enhance the geometry and appearance of individual armor pieces, as well as change the appearance of exotic weapons. That would explain why we are getting an iron variant of the Yallarhorn. Artifacts are getting special abilities such as enemies fighting for you after meleeing them or removing the sprint cooldown entirely. Festival of the Lost and Sparrow Racing League are coming back this year with bigger potential for the SRL. Be prepared to get nostalgic with the new Year 3 exotic that was announced, the Kvalstov, your very first weapon you picked up in the game. And finally, Bungie says they want to be upfront and open about its release plans post-expansion. Moving on to the Prey reboot, we finally got some gameplay footage from the game, and as a reminder, you play as Morgan Yu, the subject of an experiment that granted him unnatural powers, who lives on a space station called Talos 1. The ship is taken over by aliens or smoke monsters, depending how you look at it, who take on the appearance of everyday objects, so expect plenty of jump scares, somewhat in the vein of Condemned's department store mannequins. This looks to be a healthy combination of Half-Life, Dead Space, and Bioshock. The reboot will be a Metroidvania-style game confirmed by the creative director Rafael Colantonio. He says, the space station can be explored in a continuous way. This is not mission to mission to mission. Everything is continuous. You can always come back to where you were before. The context may have changed, and you can also visit it outside in Zero-G and go from different airlocks to different airlocks and find shortcuts. Continuing with Bethesda, PS4 mod support for Fallout 4 is still under evaluation according to Pete Hines. It was supposed to launch sometime in July, but after no word and criticism coming from Twitter about leaving gamers in the dark, he came out to say he understands. Quote saying, "I don't disagree. We have explained that to others so we can get or share an update. So far it hasn't worked," implying Sony is at fault for that lack of communication. Final Fantasy XV will have a season pass and containing 6 downloadable content pieces. In order of release, we're getting a booster pack, episode Gladiolus, a holiday pack, episode Ignis, episode Prompto, and an expansion pack. Considering the holiday pack is the 3rd DLC, it's safe to say that the first 3 will release at monthly intervals. Gladiolus, Ignis, and Prompto are the names of Noctis's buddies, so it's also safe to assume it'll be about them. Finally this week for video games, Nintendo could be prepping Zelda, Mario, and Pokemon for an NX release within the first 6 months of the system's release. The juiciest piece of information that came out of that was that Game Freak would be the one making the Pokemon game, as they've never made a home console game in the franchise. They've always stuck themselves to the handheld versions. So this may actually continue to tie in with the rumor that the NX will be a hybrid machine between home console and handhelds. And as a reminder, the earliest we can get NX information would be just next month at the Tokyo Game Show, which runs September 15th through the 18th. Moving on to the world of film and television this week, we got to meet our new S.H.I.E.L.D. director, who will be played by Jason O'Mara in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Jason was the voice of Batman in several animated DC films, including Justice League Dark. Marvel teases that the character's roots in Marvel Comics go back all the way to the 1940s. Early theories include this could be either Nick Fury Sr., with help from the Forever Compound or the Infinity Formula, or possibly Jim Hammond, who was the original Human Torch. Considering he was an android, this may also tie in to the life model decoys, or LMDs, that were teased in Season 3's finale. And finally this week, Ubisoft has announced a film will be produced based on The Division, starring Jake Gyllenhaal and Jessica Chastain. It sounds like this is still way too early in development, as no release window or actual story information other than there's other stories in Division we can explore was given for the film. Alright, that's going to do it for us this week. Thank you so much for watching. We will see you next time.